Are you excited to be here?
Yeah.
You are?
I mean, more excited than I would be to be like laying in bed. I don't know.
Okay. Well, that's fair.
But we're here.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. It has been so long.
2 months?
Since I told you.
2 months?
Yeah, probably.
8 weeks?
Yeah.
Almost?
Probably.
It was about 6 weeks, right? When you told me?
No.
Not even?
No, I had just found out. I was like 4 weeks.
So it's definitely been like 2 months.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So welcome back.
Welcome back. If you haven't watched any of the other videos, surprise, I'm pregnant with baby number 3. That's why we haven't recorded any episodes, because like I said in the video where I told him, that was literally like, I'm sure we're going to get into this, but finding out you're pregnant for the 3rd time is just so different than finding out you're pregnant for the first time, when you have no clue what it looks like, what it entails. As I told him, like right after, I'm like, yeah, so that means I've got 2 weeks probably, if I'm lucky, before I start feeling like crap. And what do you know? Right at 6 weeks.
It happened.
Yeah.
And there was also a bunch of stuff. Mother's Day was in there.
Oh, we had so much stuff. Yeah, there's just been a lot. Which I did give an update, like when I posted a video.
People in town, Easter.
When I was bagging up all of the watermelon sweatshirts.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So I hope you've had a great last 2 months.
Yeah. So you said, we will get into, obviously, the pregnancy.
Yeah.
But we have 2 book clubs to talk about.
2.
Yeah, I don't think we ever talked about the, did we do a full review, like our thoughts of the House in the Cerulean Sea? Oh, what are you doing? We did?
That was where I told you.
Okay. All right, so then we have 1 to talk about, 1 update on the new book. So we'll talk about that later, towards the end. If you're only here for that, you can skip.
Yeah. I'm sure most people are not here for that.
Probably not. We have 71 people in the book club.
Ow,
I'm really curious how many are like active.
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't tell me, like when we do the votes, it doesn't tell me how many vote on each thing. It just gives a percent. So I'm curious how many are actually in there. But anyways, a lot to get to.
Do you have a layout for this?
What?
Do you have a layout for this?
Yeah,
Don't mind my tattoo.
I had a full layout for the previous episode. I had a bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about. But some of it's dated now.
Yeah.
Some of it just doesn't,
all right, well, whatever
doesn't
you
interest me anymore. But no. I do have another layout. Like, that's what I was doing yesterday. Part of the layout of this one was talking about the layout of the last one. I was excited about it.
Oh.
It is what it is. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
It's usable stuff later.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, obviously, we're here to talk about
what the last 2 months have looked like. I assume pregnancy.
Well, yes, but
struggling.
More, yeah. More just talk about your experience, but I also have some questions.
Okay.
About the boy stuff.
Oh yeah, well I posted that video too. Yeah, so yeah, we're having a little boy.
Probably already know that.
So excited about that.
Video. But anyways, let's just start off with. How you doing?
Not good.
I don't remember, how much did we talk about, or what all did we talk about after you told me?
Like how it's so, you were, all of the realizations of like, obviously excited, but
what's it going to look like?
What's it going to look like, knowing that you know the hard parts, and it's like, okay, we can do it, but like, what is that going to look like with a 3rd kid? Figuring that out in the winter, because that's
funny how many dads have told me, not just after this, after finding out about 3rd, but before that, like, with your next one. The analogy is always zone defense to me. It's so funny how many dads just go straight for that. Yeah. And I get it. Like, it makes sense, but it's just funny because there's a few people who commented on the last video saying, oh, 3 was easy, it was a breeze. Yeah. You know, you have the understanding.
I have had, and this is kind of where I'm at on it, because the difference from, 0 to 1 was by far our hardest transition so far. 1 to 2, there was a very rough patch, like early postpartum, just because I'm healed. Like that was hard. But overall, like the baby stuff was not overwhelming. Even when I was in the thick of it, I knew what to do. I knew to eliminate dairy for, like I knew what to do. I had so much confidence.
How much of that?
And same with like baby sleep. It was like,
how much of that came from just setting your expectations?
That's what I mean.
But
like you're able to do that.
I know. I'm asking, like, it wasn't that difficult. It wasn't as difficult, 0 to 1.
Yeah.
How much do you attribute that to just purely knowing what you're getting yourself into versus, like,
I think a lot of it
the skills that you've learned?
Oh.
You know?
Maybe 50-50. I don't know. I mean, they both definitely are important. Like,
yeah.
But I think just the confidence you have going into number 2, and I have said this every time I've talked about this on Instagram, because people always ask, what did you think was more difficult? 0 to 1, 1 to 2, whatever.
Yeah.
I think it depends so much on the temperament of your baby, because I do have friends who had more like colicky second babies, and they had very like trick babies, or what they call them, the first one.
Hard.
That would be very hard. And I feel like you'd be like, wait a minute, I thought I knew what I was doing. What's happening? So we started off with a more challenging baby experience, which also just lowered our expectations for baby number 2. So yeah, having the correct like expectations and knowing what to expect or what it could look like definitely helps a ton. But also just the confidence of, even if it's not going well, it's so temporary. Like you realize how fast it goes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway, going into the 3rd and knowing that this could potentially be our last one, no matter what it looks like, my goal is to soak it in and like really take a lot of the pressure off myself to like get back to work right away, which no matter what I'm going to have to do in some capacity, just because that's our reality. But I want to try to set myself up to actually not thrive in postpartum, because if I'm being honest, I just don't think that that is in the cards for me with how my hormones go.
Especially with the due date being Christmas.
Yeah, so
like in the winter.
I just want to, like, I want to have as chill of a postpartum as I can.
Okay.
So who knows if that'll happen, but that is my plan. And I'm excited to just kind of soak it in, rely on the fact that I know that we can do this again. And that no matter what our days look like, no matter how crazy they are, it will pass. It is so incredibly temporary. And just enjoy it as much as I can. So
I mean, that's a great attitude to have.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I do think going in, trying, as long as I'm able to, and you helping, oh my gosh, if it wasn't for him the last 2 months, I mean, I would have had to get stuff done, but it just would have sucked. My goal, if I can, is to get ahead of like the next program that will launch early on. So like I can take a lot of that off my plate, so I can not have a maternity leave. Once again, it's just not kind of in the cards for us.
Yeah.
But take some of like the heavy workload, try to get it done ahead of time so I don't have to worry about that. Or if there's stuff that needs done, it's stuff that like you could easily help me with, and I don't absolutely have to be the one doing it.
Yeah, no, I think that we can start that stuff now.
Yeah. No, that's already as my plan.
So
once I start feeling better.
Yeah, so you can have someone on maternity leave. You know, you don't have to do the guide stuff. You can pre-record some videos.
Yeah.
To go.
So yeah, that's my plan.
I want to do some more content. Every time I do a video on YouTube, like a men's haul or something like that, people always ask like, "Oh, what do you want to do for the next one?" So I already have one that I'm going to be filming tomorrow. It just depends on when we have help.
Maybe you can knock it out today after this.
I'm waiting on one more pair of pants. By the way,
are those them?
These are one of them.
Yeah, they look nice.
These are the CRZ yoga pants.
He's doing kind of like a dupe video. I'm doing
a dupe video, just of like the most popular ones that you can find on Amazon, and just giving my impressions. Yeah. Everybody knows I love Lulu.
Yeah.
We love Lulu. And I do think
Mm-hmm.
paying $120 for a pair of pants like the ABCs is worth it.
Yeah. I mean, you literally had some of yours for, I don't even know how long.
Well, yeah, you can see in the video. I mean, there'll be the pockets, my wallet pocket outline.
Yeah.
Anyways, anyways, that's coming soon. Yeah, so I guess we will get as much stuff done as we can. And then when baby comes, baby comes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we were planning, we were planning on starting a few months later.
Yeah. So really, this month.
We
ideally when we would have started trying.
We ideally wanted a spring baby, right? Spring into summer.
It was all based off of postpartum for me. I struggled postpartum. Exactly. I had postpartum depression, rough. And so in my head, I love spring. I'm probably so obnoxious because I'm like, I love when things are in bloom. I notice every day the things changing and I love it. It's just like even with the rain, it's just a very, summer's coming, good times around the corner. I love it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, maybe that will have a good impact on my postpartum experience.
Yeah.
Also, girls can get outside.
Yeah.
But
Germs,
also,
flu season.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit.
That's not happening.
No, that's not the reality. And that's okay. We're not the first to do it. We won't be the last.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
The comment on the last YouTube video was like, I don't understand how people are ever surprised when finding out
when they're not practicing safe sex.
We're practicing not like practicing against getting pregnant. You know what I mean? Like we're practicing safe sex. We are married.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, I'm quoting you from the last video.
Not using
you said our
not using contraceptives. Okay, yeah. We'll call it that.
Yeah,
we'll call it not. And I get half of what they're saying, mm-hmm. but the other side. First of all, you told me completely out of the blue.
Yeah,
we were not talking about this.
Normally,
we were not planning this.
Normally, you're in the loop on I'm letting, especially if we know we're trying.
Yeah.
When I'm ovulating, if I've taken any tests, we are talking about this daily.
Yeah.
Which this time, because I thought there was a chance, after I realized there was a chance, I was like, I'm not going to say anything. So yeah, obviously it would come as a surprise to you because we don't normally.
Think about this analogy for a second.
Don't talk.
So I am.
Or keep it.
So imagine you are in the situation where you are applying for a bunch of new jobs, mm-hmm. and you're doing interviews, and you're getting, mm-hmm. callbacks and stuff, and then you get a call one day, even after you've been planning this and doing this for weeks, that you got the job. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be surprised and happy and excited?
Yeah.
Just because, I was planning for this. So,
yeah, but it's also not guaranteed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what another comment was, we tried last time for months.
Yeah.
Many people try for years. Mm-hmm. Doing exactly everything right.
Yeah.
Knowing it's coming. Mm-hmm. I just didn't understand the comment.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I don't.
But either way. So plans change. We're going to have to adapt. Wanted a spring baby for everybody's mental health. Yeah. Mainly yours.
Good news is the appointment I had with my doctor.
Oh. 2 days later?
What?
Was it 2 days later now, the due date, than what it was originally?
No, I don't understand. I'm going to have to check with them next time. But, no, the good thing is this isn't my first time.
Yeah.
My doctor, we are very comfortable with each other. She knows exactly how my body responds. So she's like, if for my due date being Christmas, I'm like, listen, at the end of the day, all I want is a healthy baby, mm-hmm. obviously. Mm-hmm. If I can avoid, or if I can be home on Christmas with the girls, I would love that.
Yeah.
And she was like, don't worry about it. If we can induce you early, we can do it there are options here in the fact that it's your third baby, and I know how your body responds, we can work around that. So just knowing that too is so helpful because also some of my family travels, my mom travels around Christmas and stuff. So it's if there is a way, which this is birth plans and me are just like not really friends. I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever has to happen is fine. But yeah, if there is a way that we can do it when like help is here and it's not on Christmas, like cool. So that gave me a little peace of mind just with like the whole Christmas thing.
But you are going to break your streak of due date babies.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that.
Okay. I mean, it's pretty
fine
cool.
with that.
I looked it up after the first one. That's 3% of babies are born on their actual due date.
I only really count Emmy though.
It doesn't matter. She came naturally on her due date. Avery helped on her due date.
Yeah.
Still on.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
It is very cool. I love that little fact. But
Yeah.
I would not be upset if this baby doesn't come on Christmas.
Okay. Oh, me either.
Or maybe like
I'm
Christmas
good
night.
with what you want.
Christmas night, cool. After we've celebrated Christmas, cool. I'm down for that.
Are hospitals more busy or less busy on Christmas? I mean, not that
See,
it really
that's the
matters.
other thing.
But,
Yeah.
like,
I had someone, well, we're not going to be
you don't want to have to go to the ER again.
Well, I mean, if it's in the nighttime, that's just where you go into the ER and then they send you up to.
I know.
That's no different.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to you for a second.
Okay.
You're not feeling good.
I'm not feeling good.
What does that mean? I want you to tell people who have not been pregnant before or have not experienced this type of pregnancy.
Yeah.
What it's like, because I talked to G, a good friend of ours, who was pregnant at the same time as you the first time.
Yeah.
And almost nothing was different except she got diabetic at the end. But so that was like, deal. She said that was like her curse.
Yeah. The best way I can explain it, which honestly, because I just was like 24/7 nausea, like whoever created the term morning sickness, from everyone I've talked to who does get sick, it's not exclusive to the morning.
I've heard though that with some people it is worse in the morning. Not for you, but I've heard people say that.
Yeah, there's definitely times a day, but I just think it's funny because it's like the majority of people I've talked to are like, it's like an all-day thing. I just am tired. So starting at week 6, it's when your HCG levels rise, and with both, well, now all 3, you just get really nauseous and you're so fatigued. But in terms of like explaining the nausea, Gretchen at the gym, because she was checking in with me, she was like, how are you feeling? And I was like, not good. And she was like, yeah, dude, it's brutal. It got worse with each kid. And it's like you have a hangover, like a brutal hangover for 2 months. And
like
and I'm like,
wise?
yeah, like that is exactly, I did not have that many hangovers, thankfully, because I just was never a huge drinker. But there was a couple times after my birthdays, where it's like nothing sounds good, but something specific sounds good, but like you're just like blah. It is just like a brutal hangover. And so tired to where like I wake up tired. I wake up from a nap tired.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one thing I saw someone post, like the difference between pregnancy exhaustion and like newborn exhaustion is pregnancy exhaustion, sleep doesn't help. Like it does, but you're still tired.
Okay, sure.
Newborn exhaustion, you're so tired and sleep deprived, but you wake up from a nap feeling like a whole new person. That's the difference. Like,
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's this constant exhaustion, which normally, like around second trimester, I normally felt good. Like second trimester, I do normally have the like, don't feel pregnant, you know. But yeah, first trimester from week 6 to like week 13 normally, which I am 13 weeks, so like I'm waiting for this to pass.
I know.
Is just that 24/7 nausea, hangover feeling, and tired.
Yeah. So like, I can't resonate with the hangover feeling because my hangovers are always headaches.
I have had very bad headaches this time, but
Really?
it's been ever since my nose. So I don't know if it's connected to the nose thing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But I have had like constant headaches ever since that happened. But headaches are also common. Like I know
Avery
Bailey
probably broke her nose.
I talked about it. She definitely did. He won't touch it.
I'm not touching it. Why would you want me to touch it?
You would be gentle. It's just to feel what I'm talking about. But
no.
Okay.
I don't do good with broken bones, first of all.
You broke your collarbone. You feel it all the time. I felt your collarbone.
Okay, because it's 100% fully healed.
Yeah. This isn't going anywhere. I don't think.
Maybe next year I'll touch it. Maybe not a couple weeks later.
Anyway.
But okay. So like.
So yeah, I guess the hangover thing. I'm talking about the nausea, like where.
Yeah, I get it. I mean,
quite literally everything sounds.
But
miserable.
But you have yet to puke.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
that
no.
because you are? Could you have? But you're just holding it in because you don't like it. I'm throwing this out there.
No, this time, no, not really. There was one time with Avery where remember we were sitting down on the couch one evening, and I got up, went to the bathroom. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, I think I'm actually gonna throw up.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Not saying anything.
I know it makes you feel better. That's different when you're sick.
How do you know that you haven't tried it?
I'm not.
Maybe you'll just go puke real quick so you feel better. No. I'm to those out there who have done this, who have been pregnant with morning sickness. We've
established that's not correct.
And you have puked. Does it have any relief whatsoever, or is it just an extra symptom?
Maybe for people who have like true time of day sickness.
I'm just curious.
Mine is just all day. And like 100%, the more tired I am, which is why I think it gets harder with each kid, at least for someone who has symptoms like me, is just because you're active, you're moving. There's no like sitting down and relaxing and like resting, true resting.
When you have kids.
Yeah, it's just not. So the more tired I am, the worse it is, which is also like, LOL, insomnia. My insomnia kicked in very early this time. But the last couple of nights have been a little bit better. But I had like a spurt of like 4 days where I felt like pretty significant difference of how I had been feeling. I was like, oh, maybe I'm turning the corner. I had like 3 really good nights of sleep in a row, but I'm talking like it had to be like 8 to 9 hours. And then I had a really bad night's sleep, not for anything I did. I just kept waking up, and I felt terrible. So those are definitely linked for me. It is what it is.
I mean...
You push through. There's no other option.
Yeah.
I've had people ask about if I've taken nausea medication. No, I know... I've had some friends who have had to take it, but who had like if you truly cannot keep food down, obviously that poses more of a risk to you and the baby.
Oh, yeah.
So that outweighs the side effects of the nausea medication. But there's like Zofran's a popular one, but I'm pretty sure that's the one that can have like a higher risk for causing cleft lip and some kind of cardiac thing. So they want you to try. There's just the baby is developing so much in the first trimester.
Yeah. There's
so they want you to avoid a lot of those, which is unfortunate.
You mentioned cleft lip. Did you see the video that Allie sent to the group chat?
I didn't see her share it. I saw it on my feed.
Oh, you did?
Of Macy.
Yeah.
I was scrolling
cool?
And it just randomly popped on. Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, it does.
It looks so good.
That is a really cool service that woman does.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay.
So yeah, I have avoided those just because I'm not throwing up, and it is something. It sucks. I hate it, but I can get through it.
Yeah.
And the benefit, the girls distract me.
You have to. Yeah.
The days go by regardless. So we get out of the house, and honestly, the nights have been the worst for me when I do have time to sit down and relax. Like I realize how not good I feel.
Yeah. I'm curious so imagine you were in a scenario where you were working an office job, kids in daycare, you work an office job, a 9 to 5, being pregnant. I mean, while you are busy doing things.
Yeah.
Do you think it would differ the situation much?
I think it would be distracting because you at least have other things to occupy you. You're out of the house. Like working from home when you were also in the office when I was pregnant with Emmy, trying to push through that was so hard.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Like it felt that first trimester felt the longest of all these pregnancies.
Yeah. That's not surprising.
So yeah, no, I mean, I still think it would be brutal. But yeah, it's distracting. Like you don't want to be busy, but it is good to be busy. Someone said, because I had talked about, I've had a coffee aversion, all 3 pregnancies, like strong coffee aversion, which like 70% of people said they had that who took the poll, which I think is just so interesting.
Yeah.
And
it's
the
got
messages
a pretty strong, distinct smell.
But I got messages from people who are like, oh my gosh, working an office job when you, like that coffee smell.
Especially because that coffee smells worse.
And it's like all day long. And I'm like, I can only imagine.
Yeah, that would be bad.
So I think that would be the worst part.
That would be bad.
Yeah. I think that would be the worst part.
Okay. Let's move on a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's a boy.
Boy.
Now, I'll start here. I am super excited for a boy.
Yeah.
Would have been totally fine with another girl. Mm-hmm. I love being a dad to girls.
I would say more than fine. You would have been excited for another girl too.
Yeah. I thought it was a girl for the longest time until the very end.
Yeah.
But it's a boy. Excited. We already have a name picked out. Mm-hmm. Probably keeping that a secret.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will do a video, because especially since this might be our last, people always want to see like names you liked but didn't use. I feel like we do have names, or like you go back and forth and say like yay or nay to names that you find.
I'll give you one.
We can do a video like that. Not right now.
I'll give you one. She didn't like that. I love the name Samuel, because this is my main reason why. Every character I can think of in like fiction that is a Sam or a Samuel, they're always just the best. Like Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings is the one that pops in my head, but she didn't like that very much.
That was number 2 on our list for a boy.
Because it was my favorite.
Yeah. It just wasn't my favorite.
But you knew it wasn't going to win. So you can put it. Are you humoring me by putting it at 2?
No, I like Sam. It just never felt like our child. I don't know how to explain that. I don't have anything against Sam. There are definitely names for boys and girls that I just straight up don't like.
Well, yeah.
I don't have anything against Sam. I like Sam. It just, I could never picture it as one of our children.
Okay.
I don't know. Same thing with were you the one who liked Oliver? I think I like the one we
picked more. No, I don't like Oliver very much.
What was the other boy name?
I don't mind, obviously, the name.
There was one boy name before that I thought you liked. I don't know. I don't even have my phone up here.
I don't hate Oliver.
No, I know.
I used to like Oliver a little bit more because of some superheroes.
No, I'm just trying. There was one name.
Green Arrow, but
that you liked, and it was
like a long time ago.
Yeah, well,
Carson.
No, that was the name I picked when I was in
12.
Yeah. It's so many Carsons now.
Yeah,
I mean,
that one passed
it very
over a long
very
time
much
ago.
fit the time of when I picked it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll do one of those name videos because we haven't ever done one of those. So we'll do one of those down the road.
What excite you about a boy specifically?
Ooh, good question. So I was actually talking about
different clothes.
No, I was talking about this. There's so many people have reached out on Instagram, which has been so fun and kind to talk to people. And there's been a bunch of because people are big on boy mom.
Yeah, but boy moms are.
And anyway, they're welcome to the boy mom club. Welcome to this. It's so different. Girls are so fun, but boys are just so different. They just giving their experiences. And there were so many of them that were coming across not in a mean way, but just that it's a different experience. And I'm I honestly, we've had so much fun with the girls. And I was super excited to find out we were having Emmy. Our first was a girl. I was so excited for that. But I grew up with all boys. I grew up always thinking, when you're naive and you're I want 3 boys and a girl. I want, I always was I want 2 boys and a girl. Because I loved being the little sister to older brothers. I loved growing up. We called myself a tom girl because I definitely liked girly things. But I did everything they did.
Tomboy?
That's what I'm saying. It's tomboy, but tomboy and girly girl. We said tom girl. Because I was into the girly thing. That's what I was just saying. Anyway, I always felt like I was like built to be a boy mom. Like I think I kind of felt a little out of my element in the very beginning with a girl.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that quickly passed. Very quickly
Surprising
passed.
to me.
But I had just always thought that I would be a boy mom.
Okay.
Like boys and then maybe a girl. I think just because I said that so much when I was younger, it was like in my head that way. So yeah, maybe not out of my element is the right thing. But I had always felt like I'd be a great boy mom because of how I grew up with all brothers, boy cousins.
What with like sports? Like what? Like
yeah, and just like I was never
knowing how to parent, knowing how to relate to boys.
Not just that, just like I don't know how to explain this because I don't think you're understanding. Just like the overall vibe. In school, I always had more guy friends than I did girlfriends. Like I just have always seemed to get along really well with like I don't know how to explain it. I never had sisters. So especially going into like Emmy and Avery, I was so excited to see what that dynamic will continue to look like for them. I'm just saying, I'm not like scared to have a boy and how different it's going to be. Like I've always felt very confident in my abilities to be a boy mom.
Okay.
And like it's thinking about it has seemed more natural for me, is what I guess I'm saying. Just because I grew up around boys, I grew up doing more boy things than the girly stuff.
Yeah.
So like to me, I'm so excited.
Okay.
And I'm really excited for the girls to get to have the brother experience because I loved that. I loved growing up with my brothers.
Anything else? Like, well, I'm more asking about like specifics. Like I get that you just
changing a diaper will be a little different in the beginning.
No, what makes you excited to have a boy? Not just like specifics. Like any different activities. Like it also gets into another thing that I was curious about, which is
I think that relationship will be different. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
Like to see just how different it is raising a little girl versus raising a little boy and how they act and seeing his personality, like not comparing, but just seeing the differences like firsthand.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that.
So what, if anything, pre-birth, like we're in our preparation phase for this boy, what differs from boy to girl, you think? Like I know the anatomy's different.
You mean in like what I'm doing?
And like no, just overall
like getting
preparations.
Ready?
Yeah. So like I know the anatomy's different, so you're gonna have to prepare for like changing the diaper. You have to make a decision about like circumcision and stuff, different clothes. But like anything, is it essentially the same after that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean that's what I was thinking.
I was gonna say,
I
on like our list, we chose a neutral nursery from the very start.
Yeah.
I'm not changing the nursery. We'll get a new name sign. I might add like some different little decor so it's a little bit more like boyish. But
Okay.
I'm not changing the nursery, and we have a lot of neutral clothes. I did buy one of the bamboo companies that we get for like sleepers. They had 50% off, so I bought like 2 jammies in like the first year of sizes. Other than that, I think so many people are going to gift us little boy outfits.
No, that's fine. I was just curious about like any other
nothing's really
differences,
different.
like any big things.
No, honestly, after finding out it was a boy, my biggest thing was like, at least for me, everyone's experience is different, but like the old wives' tales of like, if you're pregnant with a girl, you'll feel this or you'll have this. Like, everything has been the same so far.
Yeah. That's what I figured.
Yeah, everything's been the same.
So, I also want to talk about telling the girls, because I 100% think that what you suggested, waiting until finding out the sex, 100% the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Just,
at least,
and I'm not saying that I think it would have gone terribly if we, told them and then waited.
Total gamble.
But it is. And I just think that,
especially in the 3 season that we
I'd recommend if you're going into this, like if you are telling your toddler about another baby coming, waiting until you know the gender, or
at least because I can see how it would be so tempting,
or just having
or if you're gonna tell them, because like I was tempted, and we had talked about it with so many people in front of her that I was like, she's probably catching on, but she never said anything. I don't think she connected pregnancy with baby and belly yet. Probably. But anyway, I could totally see wanting to tell them, but I would just. We would never be like, oh, do you want it to be a boy or a girl? I just think that immediately, like, that's a 50-50 shot. Well,
Emmy specifically, and probably like most, very strong feelings about, very strong opinions about everything. So.
She's just like, deeply feeling kid. I've talked about this so much.
She has
very strong feelings. And
big feelings.
And I just did not see that going well.
So it was 100% the right thing. Totally recommend if you even have any thoughts. If you haven't watched
the video, you can. The video where we found out that we were having a boy, at the end of that video is how we told Emmy and Avery, but she doesn't know what's going on.
She doesn't know. She's clueless.
She knows you have a button.
A button. But so
that worked out so good.
Yeah. Went right into nothing to having a brother, and it's only been a brother. So, it also helps she already has a sister, I think.
Well, so she had told me, and I don't know if it was just like random her saying it. This was before I was pregnant, like months and months before I was pregnant. She had told me 2 separate times, at different occasions, that she wanted a little brother.
We talked about it like a long time ago.
Especially having her already say that, and you being so confident that we were going to have all girls, I was like, we're going to wait.
No. That was 100% the right thing to do.
And the way Alyssa did it, it was like, even if she was like, oh, but I wanted a sister or whatever, she packed the box full of fun stuff that like immediately made it such a fun
with the boys there. And
so no, it was great. It was great.
Now she's telling everybody about her brother.
It's so cute.
It's the cutest thing of all time. Telling everything. That's how we told our family, like my family. Just had Emmy go tell him. Mama's got a baby brother. And so
Mama has a baby in her belly and his baby brother. It's so cute.
She'll tell everybody the name too. She like starts with that. It's funny.
I know. They're like, sorry. I'm like, I don't care. I wouldn't have told her if I didn't want anybody to know. Like,
you can't give a toddler a secret and then expect them to.
In like some of my favorite videos to look back on when I was really pregnant with Avery was Emmy coming up, hi Avery, like holding my belly. It's adorable.
Gotta have that.
It's adorable. So that definitely pat on our backs for that. That was a good call.
That was awesome. It worked out really well and it was exciting.
It was so cute. Yeah, it was a very exciting day. We got to find out, then they got up from their nap and we got to tell them.
Yeah. All right, well, moving on to 3. 3 children.
3 children. We are outnumbered.
That's the zone defense, outnumbered. That's the thing.
If I'm being honest, I know this is different. I already feel outnumbered. Like, especially when one of us is at home, taking her outside, trying to manage her.
Oh, well, when she's outside,
that's what I'm saying.
That's also another thing.
First of all, that's the main thing that comes to mind being outnumbered is when we leave the house and like going outside.
She's off-leash trained.
Needs touched up on that. We should send her back.
We need to be better.
But anyway, that I'm like, I already feel like I've gotten so used to managing so many moving parts outside.
Yeah.
But yes, moving on to 3.
Also, Emmy will be 3.5. Literally. If she comes on her due date. Emmy's half birthday is Christmas. She'll be 3.5. She's already changing her own diaper. So like, potty training starts.
Potty training starts
for the third or fourth time.
I feel like it'll be the 3rd time. And my mom sent a link to we're not going to get too into this because this could be like literally a whole episode. She has like one of the like extremes. I do not think it, I mean, I don't think it's uncommon enough to where it's like weird, but she's definitely not in that potty training book. She does not fall into any of the categories of like, oh, if this is happening, like, and it's like in extreme cases, this won't work. She's the extreme case.
Yeah.
But my mom sent me a link to this. She's essentially like a counselor, but she like specializes in kids who have issues with potty. Mm-hmm. And Emmy checks off every single one of the things she talks about. So she sent,
I've been talking about needing professional help for months.
And we talked about that. She sent me the link for it, and she can like help guide based off of how she's doing, where she is on like how to go about it. So I'm like, we need to reach out to her and see, because traumatic is how I would describe it.
Yeah, she's got a very
traumatic. It's very hard.
Her relationship with the potty,
which is going to the bathroom in general, like
her pooping,
anything, is kind of a thing. So anyway, we need to reach out to her.
100%.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna start that right after. I don't want to do it while she's turning 3, like on her birthday. I don't want her to be stressed about that. But yes, we've been telling her no more diapers after 3. Passy will be gone shortly after turning 3 as well. Mm-hmm. So, and she tells people, we're like, what happens at 3? No more diapers.
No more Passy. Yeah. So,
who knows?
She's a smart girl.
Yeah, she is.
But,
very.
Yeah.
She just struggles with that. And so we have to figure out how we can best help her.
We will. Yeah. So, she'll be 3.5. Mm-hmm. Avery will be almost 2.
Almost 2, yep.
Do you think we should try potty training
Avery
earlier?
I think she will be so easy.
Compared to Emmy, yes.
Yeah.
Still, each
possibly
present their own challenges, but
yeah, especially if she starts to be more vocal and verbalizing things. Mm-hmm. I do think so.
Okay.
Especially because it's winter. We're like, I think we're gonna be here a lot, and
we will be. Yeah.
I think she always tries to emulate what Emmys are doing anyway.
Yeah.
I just see it happening very quickly, but I'm also like not stressed about that.
No, me either.
I will be totally fine doing that in the summer, doing like the approach that I did with Emmy. I think she would adjust so well to that.
Yeah.
Just bottomless, go outside, spend a couple days mostly outside.
I think she'll be good.
It'll be great.
But okay, that's not even
so,
what
we'll
I
see.
wanted to talk about.
Don't stress me out about that.
But moving to 3, daily life. I mean, I've seen a couple comments were made. Like I don't think it's going to change all that much. It's just
the people I know who have had 3 said 2 to 3 was their easiest transition.
Yeah, which, knock on wood, but
I've heard 3 to 4.
You're so experienced.
My mom said 3 to 4 was easy for her.
But we have our routine with Emmy and Avery. It's working for us right now. Mm-hmm.
Well, and we applied Emmy for a little school, so it'll be 2 like 2 days a week.
3 at what? 4 hours?
Yeah.
About.
But it's like kind of in line with our normal routine anyway.
It'll wean her into.
Yeah.
That's not really a thing, but
get her used to it.
More full-time schooling, and essentially like the gym daycare.
Yeah, so she'll do that. Still take advantage of the gym. I assume I will be home with baby brother for at least probably 3 months. The good news is they offer a RSV vaccine for moms.
Oh, so
you get it at the end of pregnancy. That came out like shortly after, or that came out while I was pregnant with Avery. So I got it with Avery. Avery never got RSV. We did have some sickness, but like for being a early February baby, like she's a winter baby.
Yeah.
Truly not bad. So I'll be able to get that, which will give me peace of mind, because like that's one of the big scary ones that you got to watch.
Yeah.
So I'll get that. That'll give me peace of mind. But yeah, I see him being home with us, and I mean obviously until he's
and you can't
take him before they're 12 weeks.
No, but
is it 8 weeks? 12.
Yeah, it's 3 months is when they can start going in. But even with that though, there's so many moms at the gym who will take their toddler and then just go sit and work and
have their baby
out of the house.
Yeah.
So I imagine you will probably get into that if you can, if the baby is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because we did that a little bit with with Avery. Once I feel like we got to like the 6-week mark when I was really starting to struggle. I'd be like, hey, can we switch today? Like, I'll feed her. Yeah. I'll go to the gym. I'll just have to come home a little earlier to make sure I'm back to feed her again. But like, so I can get out of the house. And I wasn't working out yet. I guess by 6 weeks I probably started. But even if I wasn't working out, to just go sit and work in the cafe and have some me time and just get out of the house was the biggest thing. So yeah, I definitely see us doing that again. And the moms who have more than 2 kids, I have also seen them at the gym pretty soon after with their baby. Oh yeah, they drop their big kids off so they can play and have a good time.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Mom and baby are hanging out, talking to people, getting some socialization.
No, that's exactly what I meant.
Yeah,
they'll just sit in the work area with their baby in the stroller. And just hang out.
Yeah, they're doing their normal things just at the gym.
There. Yeah. So I'm saying.
Yeah, I very much see that happening. To get out of the house, because that's probably going to be our main outing each day.
Oh, that's our main outing each day now.
Yeah.
I really don't think day-to-day wise, I mean, obviously with a brand new baby, there's going to be some changes there, obviously with the sleep and naps.
Yeah, I mean, we
got way better at, Avery was way better at napping outside of home.
Yeah, and I think that's
Emmy
just
ever was.
True sibling
I think
behavior.
It is. I think it also, Avery's just been way better sleeper to start off with than Emmy was. So we'll see what we get with the third one.
Yeah, I mean, it is just, it's going to be what it's going to be. I mean,
it'll be fun.
Yeah, no, I really do. I'm sure there will be stresses that will come up. And once again, I don't expect my postpartum experience to be fun. But I am hoping that I can take as much pressure off myself as possible, work-wise, in whatever other ways, to hopefully just enjoy. And I'm really praying, because we did get like the happy baby experience after I figured out, after I got Avery on reflux medication, after I had to adjust my diet. I'm really hoping I don't have to do that this third time around, because let me tell you, when you're already so low, then having to make more changes and give more, it's like you'll do it, no questions asked. It just is hard. Yeah. And then I was like going to constant appointments for her, trying to figure all that out, doing the chiropractor, doing all these different things, release, having to do all those stretches. So I hope that we get a like more happy, maybe not have to go through all of that. But also, if we do, I've done it before.
It's not the worst thing.
Exactly. Not worried about it.